Welcome, parents. I wish we were doing this in person. My name is Suzanne Black, and I teach your students' biology class, period 2 at Inglemoor. And this is my 2021-22 open house presentation. At least when you attend open house this way, you can pause us anytime you want to go to the kitchen and get something to eat, or maybe to watch a favorite television show and then resume us when you're done. As I said, I teach biology, and I also want you to know that students are able to find me on Wednesdays at study time, which follows period 2. And also I'm around every morning, except Mondays are sometimes hectic. So I ask students to find me Tuesday through Friday and also by appointment. I'd love to show you a little bit more about our class. We have 4 units in biology, and these roughly correspond to the 4 quarters of the school year. So in the first semester, our students learn about molecules and getting energy from food and photosynthesis and cells, kind of life on a microscopic scale. In November, up until the end of the semester, they'll study inheritance, DNA and genetics. And then in second semester, we use infection, and particularly the danger of drug-resistant bacteria, antibiotic-resistant bacteria, to introduce how populations change over time. And then our last unit, which takes place from April to June, is about ecology and biodiversity. So climate change, conservation of species, things like that. This may be a biology course that's different than the one you took in high school. I know our course has evolved a lot in the last several years to try to be as timely and as relevant to students as possible. There are 5 of us teaching biology this year. All of us have taught the course before, some of us many times, some of us just a few times. I definitely am the old person in the group, but I'm joined by Eric Alaba and Brianna Atterbury, 2 outstanding teachers with experience, and then our 2 younger teachers with tons of energy and enthusiasm, Coach Christian Hanna and Alicia Bauer. All of us meet practically daily, officially once a week, but several times a week, to plan our lessons and set up and tear down labs, and really just try to combine all of our strengths to have a unified course, and one that I think is the best of everybody. Hopefully the reason that you're watching today is to find out what you can do to help your student be successful. And I listed 4 things: organization, journaling, efficient study, and attending help sessions. So by organization, I'd like to remind you that I have a Schoology page, and on that Schoology page, I post all of the schedules for the week. So each Monday, the class and I talk about their lessons and their homework for the entire week. So that's a great way to stay organized, and you can look at that schedule also. In addition, we all use a very, I think, a really wonderful style of journaling called interactive notebooks. And this style of journal encourages students to interact with what they're learning and go back to a lesson several times. For example, I have a journal here. This is from last year. This particular lesson was about photosynthesis. And what you'll see is each of our lessons always has an essential question. And then we put on the right-hand page, the A page is the input for the student. And then the students will do something with that input on the left-hand or B page. They also write a summary for every entry, and that goes on the bottom of the A page. And we are really focusing on questioning skills this year. So, sorry, I'm moving around a little bit. So that students can see that there are multiple levels at which questions can be asked. And these go in blue, yellow, and orange boxes on the side of the journal. And every single entry has this format. So you should recognize this format if you let your fingers do the walking and you look at your student's journal. Efficient studying, by that I mean, are they giving themselves a little to do each night as opposed to procrastinating? Is their phone off or out of the room? Because if they're checking their phone every 2 or 3 minutes, that's not good studying, right? Are they, are they taking breaks every so often? Are they tackling their hardest homework first? As our middle school students transition to high school, I'm sure and as we go back to in-person, I'm sure their workload is a lot greater than it was perhaps last year. So studying efficiently is a great thing to focus on, and then encouraging them to seek help whenever what they're learning in biology is not going well for them. How you guys can reach me, email's probably the easiest, probably the best, because we can do that anytime, day or night. But I'm also able to return voicemail messages that are left at 425-408-7299. That's a phone that is not on my desk. It just rings in the classroom, but I can access my voicemail remotely. Or we can even, shock of shocks, meet in person. Sometimes we have multiple teacher meetings, or maybe have a counselor present. Anything we can do to help a student get back on track. One last item or two. We do have a wish list that we maintain. So sometimes families ask what they can do, and the most important thing you can do is entrust your son or daughter to me, and we'll take our very best care of them. But if you're looking to make a donation, a used desktop copier is something we're really hoping to get for the science department, or a dustbuster type vacuum. We can always use extension cords, paper cups, Ziploc bags, gift cards to Macer's Pet Store in Kenmore. Those are not for our personal pets, those are for the classroom. So families, I just want to thank you for watching. And I wish I was shaking your hand right now, but I hope to meet you at a later date sometime this year. Thank you so very much. And I'll do my absolute best to take care of your student. Thank you. Good night.